today I'm going to talk about the difference between love and attraction, because both of them can create the feeling of love, the feeling of connection, but they start in a very, very different way. And a twin flame connection is going to start actually from the attraction part or from the lust part, or we can also say from the mammalian part. And in this video, I'm going to explain the differences in between the two. And I also want to point out there is no right and wrong. You have to be able to be in both, by the way. The chaser is going to be more connected to the attraction part, by the way, and the runner is more to this head version type of love that wants similar to this. But the healthy would be when you are in the middle, when you are integrated in both. That is going to give you a much holistic and I would say a deeper and healthier connection to yourself and connection to your partner as well. And this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. So the runner is more connected to this head type and head type of love that really wants security, wants to predict, wants to feel safe, and likes order. And it's very, very socially, I would say, influenced. And they don't really feel connected to their internal self. They are not really connected to their individual self, where actually the chaser is so connected to. That's why they don't really understand each other. And I want to point out, as usual, that the twin flame chaser and the runner on a spectrum. So some of them are going to be more rigid, some of them are going to be more healed. Not all of them are the same. Of course, it's not two dots, it's on a scale. And a head type of a person feels love from the outside, because this is like the external thing is coming in. It's more connected to this primate level. So the love can feel from stability, that it's building up. It can take a longer time to trust the partner, and it generally trust the partner when the partner has proven that they can be trusted. So there has to be consistency, and this is where the problem is, that the chaser is, by the way, the opposite of that. They are more spontaneous and can seem that they act out, and this is where the runner is going to be like, I don't know what is happening, I can't trust this person, because they see themselves more as stable, but in reality they don't see that they have this part, this repressed part within themselves. They are not aware of that. And another way they see the trust as well, or that they can really be with this person when the person is very, very similar to them. Their values are similar, because they see that they can trust themselves, they are trustworthy. So if the person is very, very similar to them, then it means that the other person is trustworthy as well. So this is a way to see how similar they are, and that's how they allow themselves to fall in love with that other person. Of course, another way as well, but these are like very, very external focused, like how the other person looks like. This is something that many people who are connected to the head will focus on, how desirable the person is. And it doesn't have to be as of beauty, it can be also as of value in society as well. So it's some kind of a thing that is external. And even if you are a chaser, you have to really think about if you have these characteristics within you, because the chaser and the runner are kind of mixed, in a sense that some of the ways are repressed within you. You can feel that you really love that person, but maybe that person is just a very good looking person, and you want that good looking person to make you feel good about yourself, that okay, if you can get such a good looking person, it means that you are a good looking person as well, or you are valuable. So you have to really break down why you want that person so much? Why is that person so important for you? Or you can see it in a different way, that if you change a few outside characteristics in the person, would you want to stay with that person? Like if he has a lot of money or she has a lot of money, if that would be taken away, or the outside look, something outside would be taken away, would you still want that person? So this can really show the reality of your feelings as well. And then the real twin flame connection, this is the attraction that is coming from the body. It's when the opposites. So here similarities in the head and the body, it's the opposites attract. And that's when this chemical part, the nervous system part, the hormones, neurotransmitters get stirred up. That's when you feel addicted to the person, when the relationship becomes especially physical, because those hormones will be really, really extreme, and there will be a lot of oxytocin that your body produces, and oxytocin creates this instant trust. That's a bonding hormone, and this is what this part of the body actually does, but you are not aware of it because the brain misinterprets it. That this is, you are actually full of fear as well. So this one wants security, wants calm, secure, predictable things, and this one wants the opposite of that. I want something new. I want to feel this extreme rush in my body. And if you really look into research, many times what people experience as love, and they did a lot of experiments on that when people go through something traumatic or something that is a little bit riskier, there is a lot of surge in the fear hormones or fear whatever, and it actually tricks the brain and makes people more connected. So you have to be aware of your own body's limitations as well, that many times what people feel as extreme love, it's actually just an extreme surge in the body's nervous system. You feel a lot of energy, an energy spike, like a sugar crush, and your mind just interprets everything in one thing, that it's love. But you have to really divide it into different parts to be able to really see what is going on. And this is where trauma bond is as well. And another thing you have to be really aware of as well, that you are more connected, especially when you fight. I just want to go back to this trauma bond, that why you get stuck in abusive relationships, also when you are in a lot of fight, and also why you crave fight as well. Because if you are the chaser, you are more likely to act out when everything is fine, that everything is just smooth. You can't really deal with that because you need this spontaneous energy flow. And when we argue, when we are very angry, when there is a fight, your fight and flight mode, your deepest part, the delta brainwaves and theta brainwaves, become very active. This is when you are most connected to the deepest part. It is connected to the neurotransmitters and hormones. And when you have that all stirred off, those really deep neurocommunications, when you have that calming impact afterwards, first of all, you see this huge change, and your body gets or gives you a huge reward, that everything was all stirred up and now there is this calmness and it feels good. But also the problem is that when you have, many times people have this, the break of sex or sex after fight, it doesn't really matter, but there was a huge argument before, because you are all stirred up. It's actually your nervous system is full of this energy, and the sex just feels a lot more intense and a lot better after. And it can really trick you into actually getting into relationships that can create a lot of energy within. So this is where you have to be really aware of that. Is it really love, or is it just a lot of energy that makes your life very colorful and very exciting? And this is where it's another thing you have to be aware of, that many chasers, because they're so connected to their body, they are more connected to things that are addictive as well. And as a side note, I just want to point out that a true twin flame connection is when you don't even see the person. So this head part is completely blind. You don't even see, I had this, that's why I know. That if before this part, this consciousness part, would be able to even see the person, even say a word to the person, the body part, this attachment part, the mammalian system part, gets immediately connected. So you feel the energetic pull, the energetic connection first, and your side, your head conscious level is second. So the connection is there before you even recognize that other person. That's how powerful a real twin flame connection is, by the way. But on the other hand, if this head part is not synchronized, is not connected, the twin flame connection is going to be very, very abusive, and you are going to get stuck in a loop. So it doesn't matter which part you are in, either you are the runner or the chaser. The goal is just what I said in the very beginning, that you have to build the other part in. That's why the two opposites attract. That the chaser has to be more connected to the head part, and the runner has to let the guard down and connect more to the body, because they are overly controlling with themselves, with these internal impulses, and they act out this internal control towards the chaser as well. If there is too much things I cannot deal with, if there is too much emotional outburst, I push you away, because this is exactly what they do within themselves as well, that they are very good at self-controlling. And my final note is what twin flame connections are really meant to do. They meant to teach you self-love. They meant to wake you up. And in reality, if you don't respect yourself, if you don't love yourself enough, and love means that you accept your negative parts, you are honest with yourself, but you also recognize that it's no longer helpful for you. So you work on yourself to become different, to heal yourself. And many times it means that you have to leave your twin flame behind, because the other person is abusive and the other person doesn't choose the same path as you do. The other person chooses to stay stuck in that unhealthy behavior. And this is self-love, that you have the ability to move away from people who keep hurting you. And if you work on yourself, then you basically change this internal neurocommunication within yourself, which is basically your frequency. And as soon as your frequency changes, that twin flame, who was your opposite, who was your mirror, is no longer going to be your opposite. So what that means is you can attract and be attracted to a completely different person who is going to be your next twin flame. But this next twin flame is going to be healed, because now you are healed as well, because you put the effort into healing yourself, working on yourself, and the healed person's opposite is going to be another healed person. So this is the trick if you want to be in healthy relationships. See you in my next video.